Hi, and welcome to another edition of God's Minute. I'm Pastor Jonathan Conrad. I am the senior pastor of St. Paul's Lutheran Church in Wilmington, North Carolina. This week for God's Minute, we are following the 20th chapter of John, and we're focusing on 6 phrases that can help us improve our faith. And today, we're going to get to that phrase. In fact, it's just a word. But let's get to the reading from John 20.
Early on the first day of the week, while it was still dark, Mary Magdalene came to the tomb and saw that the stone had been removed from the tomb. So she ran and went to Simon Peter and the other disciple, the one whom Jesus loved, and said to them, "They have taken the Lord out of the tomb, and we do not know where they have laid him." Then Peter and the other disciple set out and went toward the tomb. The two were running together, but the other disciple outran Peter and reached the tomb first. He bent down to look in and saw the linen wrappings lying there, but he did not go in. Then Simon Peter came, following him, and went into the tomb. He saw the linen wrappings lying there, and the cloth that had been on Jesus' head, not lying with the linen wrappings, but rolled up in a place by itself. Then the other disciple who reached the tomb first also went in, and he saw and believed. For as yet they did not understand the scripture that he must rise from the dead. Then the disciples returned to their homes. But Mary stood weeping outside the tomb. As she wept, she bent over to look into the tomb, and she saw 2 angels in white, sitting where the body of Jesus had been lying, one at the head and the other at the feet. They said to her, "Woman, why are you weeping?" She said to them, "They have taken away my Lord, and I do not know where they have laid him." When she had said this, she turned around and saw Jesus standing there, but she did not know that it was Jesus. Jesus said to her, "Woman, why are you weeping? Whom are you looking for?" Supposing him to be the gardener, she said to him, "Sir, if you have carried him away, tell me where you have laid him, and I will take him away." Jesus said to her, "Mary." She turned and said to him in Hebrew, "Rabboni," which means teacher. Jesus said to her, "Do not hold on to me, because I have not yet ascended to the Father. But go to my brothers and say to them, I am ascending to my Father and your Father, to my God and your God." Mary Magdalene went and announced to the disciples, "I have seen the Lord." And she told them that he had said these things to her.
The word that is the phrase for today is Mary. That's it. Mary. This one response, Mary, has amazing implication in our lives. In verse 13, we have 2 angels ask Mary why she is weeping. And it's not the angels who respond. There is only one who can and does answer, and that's Jesus. When Mary needed to know, there was no one from God's public relations department to respond. It was God Himself. And while she was weeping, Jesus was right there. And the same voice that said, "Let there be light, let there be creation," this same voice is the one that answers Mary. The same voice that brought forth creation brings forth connection. And it brings forth a new creation, a new heart in Mary. She sees Jesus. Jesus has returned. And this same voice that Mary heard, it's the same voice that calls us today. So are we listening? Because God is speaking to us. In a way, God never stops talking to us, calling us by our names, creating in us a new direction, new hearts, and new moments that can carry us when we need it the most. I remember my dad taught me that prayer is just speaking with God 24 hours, 7 days a week. But what's important about that is my dad taught me that it wasn't just talking to God, it was listening. So continue to listen to God. Hear how God is in your life and hear God call you by your name. Thank you for joining me today. I will see you tomorrow for another edition of God's Minute.